Tonight's KSN Sports Report is sponsored by Melton Industries.
It's one of the craziest weekends for high school sports in Kansas. Spring sports state tournaments are going on all across the state. In Wichita, Wilkins Stadium, Class 5A softball, St. Thomas Aquinas versus undefeated Bishop Carroll, and the Golden Eagles, they get it done. Not only pitch a shutout here, Bishop Carroll, they advance with a 4-0 win. In 6A, Gardner-Edgerton and Garden City sound familiar? Well, actually, they're 355 miles apart. Well, Garden City scores first. Wild pitch, Jessica Foster, come on down. It's 1-0 Buffaloes, but the Trailblazers had an answer. Emma Crouch with a blast off the wall here. Gardner-Edgerton, they win it 13-3. The state track meet, that was back in action with Class 5 and 6A kicking it off. And a really cool event today. History made here. The first ever boys wheelchair 100-meter dash in Kansas high school history. It's Grant Pierce from Heights. He's good there to take first place. Well, the 5A boys 4x800-meter relay team from Andover, they took home a state title today with a time of 8 minutes 5.27 seconds. And in 6A, girls 300-meter hurdles here, neck and neck. Kennedy Jenkins from East, Hadley Williams from Dodge City. Jenkins wins the state title by 0.3 of a second. The MAIZE South boys baseball team is a hot hand right now, no matter how they're getting the job done. X Stadium tonight, 5A South and Bishop Carroll. Bottom of the sixth, Carroll down 3, bases loaded, no dice. After a strikeout ends the inning. Well, in the bottom half, some insurance for the Mavericks. Owen Bailey, he drives in 2 more runs. MAIZE South, they're moving on with a huge 5-0 win. Staying in 5A, top-seeded Andover Central, they took care of business against St. James Academy. All bats for Central early on. That's Cooper Tabor. Finds some green and left. Mason Sanchez turns on the burner, scores from second. Well, Reese Wilson, he threw a gem, a complete game, 1-hit shutout on 75 pitches. Central, they advance with a 6-0 win. More 5A still at Eck. Hayes and Topeka Seaman first here. Hayes at the plate. Garrett Wellbrock singles to left, scores Dawson Von Felt. Hayes, they're headed to the semifinals with a 6-2 win. The Sedgwick High School baseball team advanced to the 2A semifinals today with a 3-2 win over Belle Plaine. And as Taylor Rocha details in this week's competitive drive, there's a deeper story on the diamond with a player on their team.
Growing up, Connor Tillman wanted to be just like his older brother, Alec.
I always went to his practices and listened to what the coaches said, and that kind of just made me know that I want to play.
We just treated him like he was no different than anyone else, including his brother.
Connor was born with a nerve injury in his right arm.
I can't fully extend out or go all the way up.
He never used that as an excuse.
I just try to figure out different ways to do everything.
His brother wouldn't let him.
Something he was really good at was telling me what I did wrong.
Now Connor has to get his criticism from elsewhere. Last July, Alec was killed in a car crash. He was just 22 years old.
It's one of those situations you really don't know what the right way to respond to it is. Alec's loss was a tragedy for our entire community. Nobody's hit harder than it by Connor.
The support of a town of just 1,700 would be a light in some of Connor's darkest days.
We know that they have our backs.
It was not a surprise with Connor just kind of picking up the pieces of where he is. That's all he's really ever known. That, you know, when you're born with a disability like this, you just adapt, and it's just part of who you are.
Even amidst tragedy, Connor never made excuses.
It's another one of those things that really makes Connor such a remarkable young man. He's dealt with a lot and handles it with a very uncommon grace.
I'm mentally strong, and I can overcome anything.
It's what his brother would have wanted. Here for you in Sedgwick, Taylor Rocha, KSN Sports.
Sedgwick will be playing in the state semifinals tomorrow. That's sports tonight. We'll be right back.